My name is Lynne Boke. I'm a trained chef and food blogger. I am passionate about food. I love food, the entire process of preparing it, right from sourcing ingredients to presentation and sharing it and seeing the reaction on people's faces. That makes my day. I specialize in the hot kitchen. I'm not a fan of pastry, not really. I'm not a sweet tooth, so it doesn't work for me. And then I feel pastry requires a lot of patience. I'm better in the hot kitchen. I enjoy preparing meats, preparing vegetables, sauces, the whole spread. I'm good at it, count me in. The hot kitchen is the entire food, right from the pilau you're talking about, or the beef, or any other steaks. Generally, it's anything that is, you work with fire directly. A while back, God is good because He's blessed me with so many talents. So at one point I was a business person. I was doing beadwork. I'm very good at making beadwork. So at this time I found a client from Nigeria. She's called Tolani. And she came to Kenya. She wanted lots of Masai shukas. So after I've taken her around in Nairobi, I invited her to my home. I love hosting. So I told her, come, let me cook for you. I didn't know that she was a great content creator. She has over 1 million followers and she's worked with so many brands. She loved my food and encouraged me, please pursue this. And the next day after she left for Nigeria, I opened my page. I realized I have so many food photos. So I thought it's a gallery full of photos and I'm Lynne, so Lynne's Kitchen Gallery. And that is how it was born. I'm literally living my dream. I talk about food every day with my followers, my family, and it's interesting because it's something I've known all along. For instance, when I was a kid, it started that young. I learned about weeds at 9 years old. And I realized that you could cook pigweed it is edible. So immediately I learned that same day I went home and cooked it. My mom told me it tasted good and I want to believe that was true. And I would experiment with so many things. I failed so many times because I wasn't supposed to be cooking. At 9 years old, what are you doing in the kitchen? But I'm glad that whenever she wasn't home, I would practice and practice until I got better. But my journey for me started in high school. Yeah. I went to Moi Girls High School Eldoret. I went to Moi Girls High School Eldoret and I was a scout. And the first week I joined, I didn't have a role really, but after a while they noticed that I was really good in the kitchen. I would cook their meals whenever I would go for competitions. Our competitions would last for up to a week and it would be so often. So I would cook meals and they loved my food. So from that day I was named the official chef of the group. And this went on until there was a time we went to a trip in Mauritius. And for the whole 1 week, we had over 30 different students from different countries, and I was the one cooking for them. I was only 15 then. And then at the end of the trip, one of the residents called me aside and handed me a very big bag of chocolate, telling me how much he loved my food. So I think from this point, it actually hit me that this could be my calling. I'm actually really good at it. Hi guys, how are you? Pack an order with me. I'm cooking for 34 people for their prayer meeting. One time, I had cooked for my class, a former classmate of mine. She had a picnic, so I did their food and sent it. Actually, that day I was really tired. I'd done so many recipes. And towards the end, I was just like, let me shoot for the sake. I'm tired. But I didn't know that was what would open doors for me. So I towards the end of the shoot, I made sure I told my sister, kindly record this for me. And it was just a simple a simple video of me packing the food, and it did so well. It did so well. I think on TikTok it had over 200,000 views, and it was shocking. Of course, thankfully, it comes with the good and also a lot of negative comments, but that is fine. I think I'm okay with that because you're supposed to be open to criticism, whether good or bad, and you learn to ignore some and take some. So since that day, every other video I've done, I'm grateful that it has done so well. Today I'll be catering for a birthday party of 30 people. I woke up early to do the mise en place because it's the heaviest part of the cooking and it's very important for me. It helps me later on. I then took a short break to have some tea.
Oh, here's the birthday girl. She's super excited for her day.
My day starts at 7. I enjoy working out. So there's a gym nearby in our house. So I go to the gym first, then come check my to-do list. Given that content creation is what I'm doing full-time at the moment, I need to be really disciplined. So every day I have a list of what I'm supposed to do, and it involves editing. I have an hour which I use to respond to inquiries on my pages, and then I'll shoot a recipe, or if it's my rest day, I rest because this work can be quite challenging. So I make sure that some days I schedule rest, like specifically for rest. So I'll just go to the gym, then come rest, or go work, whichever that day is meant for. Actually, there wasn't much learning to do because it's basically, for a start, it's basically taking a camera and recording yourself. But what I'm learning is from TikTok and YouTube. There's lots of information on how, for example, how to edit, how to make your videos look better, or how to do whatever you're doing much better. So I refer to the internet a lot to learn what I don't know. I'm having a difficult time. No, okay, because I enjoy every process. I can't really pick one, but I would say the ones where I'm in good spirits, because, you know, given it's a job, there are times you have to do it either you're in the mood for it or not. So I would say generally the ones where I'm in the right headspace to shoot that day. My mom was very supportive. She's a wonderful cook. In fact, I've learned everything I know about cooking, I've learned from her. Okay, not really, because currently I'm slightly better than her, so I'm the one who teaches her. For my dad, it was a bit challenging. I had to complete what I was doing first. And then one day I'd gone to collect my certificate from Boma International College. I'd done a course before joining campus. So I went to collect my certificate, and I from the office where I was collecting it, I could see young chefs being trained. I tell you, I almost cried. I wanted it so bad. So I came home and I couldn't say it outright that I want to do this. But I told him, I went to school and I loved what they were doing. I admired it. I was surprised. The man was so supportive. He said that you don't need to admire, go and enroll. And that is when I joined Boma. But now I need to be smart because I'm balancing both. I've made it a structure such that I'm able to free up space during the week, and weekends I work my talent, or rather my gift. So I'm able to balance both. I'm still a construction manager and I'm still a chef. Guys, that has been part of my story. Please come back after the break.
Hi, I hope you're well. Today I'll be doing a simple menu. I'll be making potato bhajias for 8 people. My client was having a picnic for her birthday. Unfortunately, the weather was so gloomy. It rained constantly. To cheer her up and to give her a little birthday present, I thought I'd get her roses from our garden. My mom loves her roses. I hope she doesn't notice that I plucked some of them. Yeah, perfect. This will do.
Welcome back. My name is Lynne Boke. I'm a trained chef and food blogger. I've had so many highlights in my career, and I'm really grateful because I celebrate every little win. So it's hard to tell, but I'll mention a few. This is a highlight. Being on KTN is really special to me. I'm also grateful that the past 3 months I've seen so much growth in my platforms. I've spoken to so many people about food, and that really is so special to me.
Today I did some of my best work, but at the same time, it was the most challenging day. For a start, I had 2 orders which were due around the same time. As if not enough, power went out. I needed to use the oven to grill chicken and to prepare chicken wings.
I've been bright. I got 413 in KCP, an A- in KCSE, and that was the first batch of Matiang'i students. So I did really well. And I joined University of Nairobi. I did exemplary well, and right now I'm pursuing another diploma. It's in occupational health and safety, but it relates to both my fields. So my highlights is that I try to do my best in both. In my line of work, I face a few challenges here and there. One of them is fatigue. Guys, believe me, what you see on camera is not the actual thing. Well, of course, I'll present the perfect part of it when I'm smiling, but at times my back and every other part of my body wants to give up. So that is hard. It's physically tiring. And there's also a lot of negative comments here and there, but I think I'm okay with that because, in fact, I hardly respond. If anyone looks through my profile, I never respond to anything negative. If you ask me something that you're genuinely interested to know, I'll respond. But if it's something negative, I'll leave you to be. In fact, I think it helps me with engagement. So I'm very okay with that. And with fatigue, I make sure, as I've told you before, I create time for rest. That is very important to me. I would work probably 4 days a week and then decide the next 2-3 days I'm resting, and literally I don't do anything. In fact, when I changed phones, I think I had a difficult time. I'd recorded so much content on my previous phone, so when I changed it, I could hardly transfer them, so I had lost so much content. But generally, I make sure I check before every stop. I make sure I check, so I hardly lose content nowadays.
Other than catering for small events, I write meal plans as well as prepare meal preps for my clients.
For me, it is always ask, because if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. I've gotten so comfortable with no. In fact, I currently have 9,700 followers on Instagram, but I still reach out to brands. Hey, I'd like to work with you. This is my profile, and I know they're looking for, but I'll still ask because the worst they can do is tell me no, right? And even if they don't work with me right now, they'll definitely think of me the next time they are considering. So I'm very comfortable with no. Point is, I always ask. At times it can take so long for you to even get noticed. So I feel some of them may easily lose the commitment or patience along the way and give up, and yet you could have been something really big. So I feel that is sad because especially if you know what you're supposed to be or what you know what your goal is, why not just follow it anyway? Even if you're not being noticed, the fulfillment you get in itself is more rewarding than recognition from any other person. In 2 years, I see myself working with brands. I'd really love that, to promote their products through my content creation. I'm also seeing myself having my studio. In fact, I'll call it Creative Studio, so that I just have space where I come and brainstorm on recipes, shoot content. I'd love that so much. In 5 to 10 years, I see myself being a host for a cooking show and also opening my own restaurant. I'd really love that. That is a long-term dream. I think what I've experienced is not really about the taste. What they've been dissatisfied here and there has been about the portions. I've trained in a 5-star environment, so most times we don't serve too much food, so you just put just enough. And through the training we're taught, for example, meat you serve around 200 to 250 grams. People expect way more than that. So in my portions, I work with what I learned, but people at times expect way more than that. So the feedback I've gotten about that has been about the portions. What people pay for is the protein. So I cannot put, you see, for example, when you go to a restaurant, you serve maybe a big chunk of steak and just some little fries, right? So there's no way I'll start serving opposite of that, because I'm trying to be top notch. I'm trying to relate to the 5-star experience that I've learned about. So no, if you want more portions, I'd rather you order 2 portions of that instead of expecting me to add more food. Many times people have reached out to me. I could have recorded a video and maybe I don't have the written version of it. But what I do is that I encourage people to WhatsApp me. That way I'm able to take you through the process step by step. If you're having a difficult time, I'll be able to correct that. So yeah, many times I send the written recipes when people reach out to me.
Today I'll be having a cooking class. My first stop was the cyber, where I printed recipes, class timetable, as well as the market list. I'd already sent this to the client beforehand.
I would like to encourage anyone who's interested in content creation or food blogging or being a chef to simply start. You know, I believe that the universe conspires to support you whenever you're doing something that is important to you. So please start today. And for me, I want to take this chance to thank my parents, to thank my family, and my partner, as well as my followers, for always supporting me. Your encouragement means the world to me.
Pack an order with me. I'm serving a group of 12 people today. Their menu was quite simple. I was serving them rice, beef stew, cabbage, and fruits.
Kindly, you can follow me on my Instagram page or TikTok at Lynne's Kitchen Gallery.
Hi, how are you? Pack an order with me. It's for an office lunch for 10 people. I must say that I'm really humbled that so many of you are reaching out to make your orders or even to just say hi, and that makes me feel really happy.